Let's go on to the other North, the AFC North. The Baltimore Ravens lost a painful game last night to the Cleveland Browns. Jameis Winston went out there, had a great game. Uh, right now, not the Browns, but the Ravens have dropped to 5-3. They are now a game behind the Pittsburgh Steelers for first in the AFC North. They've had two brutal losses to teams they had no business losing to this year. That is the Cleveland Browns. I understand it's a division game. All that stuff rolls out the window. They still should have not lost last night. And then you also have that ridiculous loss to the Las Vegas Raiders early in the season. Is it an overreaction, Bane, to say that, with the what's the name with the Chiefs not really being the world beaters that we, even though their record says they are, that this is the chance for Baltimore. But it's an overreaction to say that they're not ready for prime time yet, and they still got a lot of things they got to do before they can seriously give them shots a chance to win the AFC.
Boy, I totally understand that it's a division game. But the fact of the matter is y'all let Jameis Winston get off on you. We've been waiting for a Ravens team like this, and what are they missing? The one thing that they always had, a defense. They should be in a position to catch the Chiefs. They were a toenail away from winning that damn game that they played at the beginning of the year. But even still, the only thing that's scary about this is that the Chiefs are undefeated, the only undefeated team in the league, and they ain't played up to their full potential. So I'm not as optimistic about the Ravens taking down the Chiefs, like I am about the Detroit Lions taking down the Chiefs. These dudes blow it every chance they get to even show niggas by getting them to pay that tax. So would I like it? Yes. Am I confident it's going to happen? No, because yesterday was a game that they supposed to just smash the Browns and made a statement, especially after everybody was on their nuts the week prior, and that just didn't happen.
Yeah, I agree. And two, the reason why I don't think they're ready yet is I think you just said it. Something always happens with this team. Like you have something where even now, like sometimes I forget that they forget they got Derrick Henry. Like, it's too many times they forget that. They should not be forgetting that they've got that dude on their team. Last year when they were in the AFC Championship game, it was like, you know what? Instead of using Lamar's greatest strength, let's not do the things that can beat the Chiefs. Let's just keep throwing the football. And I think right now that the reason why they're not ready is not because Lamar Jackson. I don't think Lamar's the problem. I believe in some things that John Harbaugh, honestly, I've said he should have got fired years ago. I believe that Lamar Jackson saved that man's job. I don't believe that he should still be there. That defense is god awful. Shout out our guy Tosin, who comes on here all the time. And I told him before the season started, Eddie Jackson is not Eddie Jackson anymore. He texted me 3 times yesterday. Eddie Jackson's terrible. And you can't. And I understand, football things happen, but when you're a serious contender, especially against a team that you're gonna face, because no matter how bad, how mediocre they play, you still got to go through Kansas City, a team that you got to basically play perfect against to beat in the playoffs. You can't be losing the games that they've lost this season. You can't lose that game to Cleveland last night. You can't lose that game to the Raiders early in the season. That's why I don't think it's overreaction to say that they aren't ready for prime time. Mikey, what you think about the Raiders? I'm not ready, but the Ravens and their chances.
I think they still have really good chances the way their offense is playing. Defensively, I don't know how they fix that. But this was always going to be a tough spot. You're coming off a short week. They did just play on Monday Night Football. You go into Cleveland to play a division game. They have some newfound confidence, with Jameis Winston being out there. The Browns have always kind of played Lamar kind of tough. So I'm not really going to overreact too much on this one. But the defense is nasty. And, I'm sure the Bills are licking their chops to get to run their fade back. And I promise you, the Chiefs will be much tougher when they play them, if they line up with them in the playoffs than they were, week one. So they need to tighten up on defense, honestly.
Dante, go ahead.
I mean, we always come back to this, and I hate nitpicking like this. But I think we're at a point now with Lamar when you get all of the personal accolades, it gets to a point where, all right, now you just have to cross that final plateau of winning a Super Bowl. everything else is irrelevant. We've seen him be successful in the regular season. We've seen him be the best player on his team in the regular season. We've also seen them lose games in the playoffs that we feel like they should have won. So I think at this point, until I see it, I can't say it's an overreaction. I don't think they're ready until they show us that when it's times to go, into Arrowhead or come up against Pat Mahomes, that they're gonna be able to take care of business. Because so far we haven't seen that, and so I don't think it's an overreaction at all.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not